Welcome to our lecture online. One of the big battles in the universe is the battle between gravity and pressure, and it applies to nebulas, starbird, as well as inside stars during their normal nuclear fusion processes, and we'll get into more detail of that later. But specifically when it comes to the formation of stars out of nebula, it's the big battle. The battle between pressure and between the forces of gravity. So let's say that we have a large nebula like this, and here's a beautiful picture of the Orion Nebula, which is between 60 and 100 light years across, and it's the place where still a lot of stars are being born. But how does that happen? Well, the nebula has to collapse down to the density of a star. And how does it do that? Well, with the help of gravity. But what happens is, as gravity tries to force a nebula into a more dense situation, a more dense state, the pressure builds up inside. The temperature builds up because heat is generated, which then pushes back against gravity, and so there's basically a stalemate. Gravity typically isn't strong enough to overcome those internal pressures caused by the internal increase in density and increase in temperature. So you can see here on the equation PV equals nRT that we use for equations applied to gas, you can see as the temperature goes up, the pressure will go up. As the pressure goes up, it fights back against gravity, and gravity just can't pull the cloud together into a dense enough state to make a star. Now, in the next video, we'll talk about some of the ways in which gravity gets a little bit of a help in order to get that started. But in the meanwhile, we try to calculate, we try to figure out what it will take to get gravity to overcome the pressures inside the nebula and cause the cloud of gas to collapse. Well, it's called the critical density, or in this particular case, the density required to collapse the nebula. And work has been done, especially by someone named Biezen, and we call that Biezen's density, who has calculated that at particular temperatures and at particular densities, the number of particles per cubic centimeter, which for nebulas is typically 40 Kelvin, and density between 1,000 and 10,000 particles per cubic centimeter, we can calculate how long it will take for the nebula to collapse, if it collapses at all. And so, as an example, if we have a nebula that has a radius of about 1 to 4 light years, and a mass of about 2 times 10 to the 30 kilogram, which happens to be the mass of our sun, then what would be the free fall time if, for example, the density is somewhere in between here, let's say 2 times 10 to the third, or 2,000 particles per cubic centimeter? Well, the calculation then tells us that it would take about 2 million years for the cloud to collapse. Now, 2 million years seems like a lot, but at least it's possible to do so. So again, what it will take is enough density, enough mass, a small enough cloud of dust and gas that can collapse into a stellar-like object, and the process will slowly continue over time, and after several million years you have what we would then call a protostar. And we'll talk about the various phases and stages of that protostar. But if there isn't enough density, and there isn't enough gas, there isn't enough mass, there isn't enough density, then gravity simply cannot overcome the external pressures, and stars will not be formed. It turns out that the force of gravity appears to be just the right amount where not all stars have already formed, and it would be impossible for no stars to form. For example, if gravity had been stronger, then all stars would have already been formed and all the nebulas would have been already used up. If gravity wasn't strong enough, then maybe no stars would have ever formed because there would not be enough force to pull the matter together. So it seems like the gravitational force is just right to, over time, just populate the universe with new and new stars. As the old ones die, the new ones are being born, and this process will continue for many more billions of years. So, as you can see, enough mass, enough pressure, stars will collapse from the large clouds of dust and gas called nebula, such as the Orion Nebula. And in the next video, we'll see how the gravitational force gets a little bit of help, a little bit of push from some other events that'll help start the formation of stars. So stay tuned.
So what happens if it doesn't collapse?
Then there's no stars.
What does it become?
Nothing. Just stays there forever as a cloud of dust and gas. It just seems that there's just enough gravitational force, just the right amount.